Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the High Priestess Perspective, where we look at things through a different lens. So this morning, we're gonna do a few oracle cards. I won't be pulling tarot today. And with the oracle cards, it's just spiritual advice. So let's begin. So I pulled a few cards, and right now somebody could be going through a spiritual awakening. You're becoming aware of your spiritual gifts, or you're trying to learn about your spiritual gifts. There could have been something very traumatic that happened to you recently or this year that you're healing from. And basically, you are rising from the ashes. So one of the cards that stuck out to me was the life restored. It's basically a picture of, I'm not even sure, a bug, but it looks very strong and kind of looks like it's mixed with a scorpion, and you know scorpions are very hard to destroy. It could be like a spider, I'm not sure. But you see there's also wings there, so not only are there things to protect itself, but it's also able to like fly away and move around. So this card basically is the life restored card, and it says spiritual resurrection is gifted to you now. Whatever part of you or your life you thought to be dead is being revived and will flourish back into life. Just as the phoenix rises from the fire, transitioning from death into life, so too will you rise again, healed and renewed. So like I said, somebody could have went through something extremely traumatic, and they're trying to heal from it, and it could be a very, very difficult moment for you. But again, it takes time to get over things, and you know, no one's healing journey is linear. It's you know, everyone's healing journey is very different. What somebody else can get over in a certain amount of time, maybe the next person won't be able to. So just be patient with yourself, and just know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. There's also the healing chamber card that came out, and this says, the most challenging task is to take courage in both hands and journey within to meet our own dark self and begin the healing task of bringing love, acceptance, and light to it. The sacred purpose of any enemy without or within is to push us to venture inwards to seek and heal the darkness within. So back to something traumatic happening. There could have been something very tragic that happened that basically took the life out of you, or sucked that life out of you. Take it however it resonates. You're currently healing from it, and again, it does take time, but there is a very, very it has to be done. Like this is something that has to be done. You could have been stagnant in certain places in your life, and this could have shaken up everything and kind of made you look inwards, like this card says. You could have been running away from your shadow self, but now is the time to heal, so that way you can move on to the next level on your journey. There's the Portal of Light card, and it also says here, and as you can see, Isis is pretty much holding her hand out, basically telling you to hold her hands. Not only are you protected, but You have your spiritual guides, your ancestors, whoever you believe to and pray to. They're watching you. They're able to help you as long as you ask. So with the Portal of Light card, it says, it is only this physical reality that is bound by time and space. You are a conscious being on levels beyond the physical world. You are guided to work with your healing powers beyond the confines of time and space. You will not become ungrounded through such spiritual work. You are not leaving your earthly connection behind. You are merely adding to it. So there's some part of you that you have to shed and let go in order for you to reach the next level. Otherwise, you will be in a place of stagnancy where you're not progressing. You may feel like you're not able to move. Again, you may want to experience something new, but until you tie up those loose ends, you won't be able to move on. More oracle cards. Divine Truth. The Divine Truth card basically means that you will have the answers that you're seeking in due timing. But again, you gotta wait for the right time. You know, divine timing is everything. A lot of the time, ego pushes us to rush things, to need to know things right this moment. But you know, time is fluid. You know, what we want when we want it does not work that way. The next card that came out was Spirit Talk, and this basically says the spirit world is trying to make contact with you to let you know they're supporting you at this time. So as I mentioned earlier, your angels, your ancestors, whoever you pray to, they are willing to give you a helping hand as long as you communicate with them. You're embarking on this journey, which is very important to you. They see that, they are commending you for your efforts, and they want to let you know that they support you. The Taurus oracle card also came out, and this basically, Taurus sign represents the material world, stability, and often stubborn. So bit by bit, step by step, whatever seeds you plant will sit quietly for a while, then come up strong. So as I mentioned earlier, you know, we want things done when we want it done. But again, with time, you have to allow life to happen. You have to allow things to play out as it should. You know, you are divinely protected. You can accomplish anything you put your mind to. You're not losing anything by taking your time, by healing, you know, doing the necessary things, shedding those negative thoughts, those outdated patterns, you know, anything, habits, friends. You know, you're shedding different layers of you so you can reach the next level in order for you to bring in the new blessings. The next card that came out was Hidden Enemies. There could be somebody that's in your energy or in your life that does not want you to progress. They want to keep you stuck, stagnant. They don't want to see you move on. So be aware of who you're interacting with, who you're sharing important details with. Not everyone needs to know what's going on with your life. You know, try to be private, but you know, also reevaluate your circle of friends, because not everyone who supports you actually wants the best for you. And the last card was the Messages card, and the Messages card basically says you will receive great news. So this could pertain to money, job, career, you know, anything that you may be expecting to hear from. This could be from a doctor's office. Maybe you're expecting test results. Maybe you're expecting to hear from a housing agency. Maybe you're trying to move. Maybe you're trying to buy a new car. There's so many different things, you know. See it as it fits. It could come in as an email, text message, phone call, letter, but you have some good news on the way. But again, be careful with who you share your information with, your private information with, because you know, there's people that can send evil eye just by you being happy. You know, some people will not want you to experience happiness. So just again, be mindful of who you're sharing information with, who you're communicating with. All love isn't good love, you know. And last but not least, this is the Soul Journeys cards, and this is basically okay. These have some pretty nice affirmations on it, and we'll see if it resonates with what was pulled earlier. So the first card we got was trust. As I mentioned earlier today with the hidden enemies card, be aware of your environment. There are people who are selfishly motivated in your life who are not really your friends. So if you feel a certain way, you feel uncomfortable, you feel sick to your stomach, you feel like you can't trust anybody, that is your intuition. Trust your instincts. Do not go against it, because the moment you go against trusting yourself, you're not going to be able to protect yourself. You know, you're blocking your own intuition from making the proper choices for yourself. You know, it's like once you cloud your judgment, you shut off your intuition. Trust in yourself. The card says, I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. So trust yourself. You feel something, you're feeling it for a reason. Do not doubt yourself. Do not allow somebody to undermine you either. Always trust in yourself. You're feeling it for a reason. The next card was change, and it says, I cannot change. I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. So earlier, as we mentioned, you're going through this healing journey. You have to shed certain parts of yourself that are no longer working out for you. You know, a lot of us was grown, you know, we grew up on survival. It's okay to shed that survival mindset so that way you can experience something new and fulfilling. You know, when you're in survival mode, you're not really paying attention to what's going on around you. You're kind of just coasting. You're just winging it. So let go of those outdated thinking beliefs, change those habits, whether it's smoking, drinking, learn to do things in moderation. You know, change is very hard for anyone, but you know, if it's something that you want to accomplish, you can and will succeed. Just trust in yourself. The next card was regret, and it says, I know that I cannot change the past. Something happened that was extremely heartbreaking, painful. It could have been a loss of a friendship, a relationship. Maybe you broke up with somebody. Maybe you didn't make the best choices when it came to certain situations. Take it as it fits. But you cannot move on living in life with regret. You have to forgive yourself for it happening. And there's no such thing as making a wrong choice or a good choice. You know, every choice either leads you some down some path. It's either a lesson or a blessing. We all make choices that either help or hinder us, but again, it's at the end of the day, it's simply a lesson. Everything that we go through is a lesson. It's an eye-opener on what we want in the future and what we won't allow in the future. So it's just, we all have to go through that growing pain, but forgive yourself for the choices that were made. If you felt like it was a wrong choice, hug yourself, forgive yourself, move on from it. Try to move on from it, but be gentle with yourself. Be extremely gentle with yourself. Your spirit guides are with you every step of the way. They're here to protect you as long as you're communicating with you. As long as you're communicating with them, sorry. And the last card is judgment. It says, I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. So you could have had an ending with a friendship, a relationship, and sometimes we tend to judge and criticize people for how they're moving on with their lives. Sometimes we feel like people aren't progressing the way that we are. No one's healing journey is the same. Everyone has to go down certain paths. Everyone has to take certain detours to end up, growing, learning, flourishing. There's no cheat code for it. A book for me, like an open book test for me, may not be helpful for the next person. They could have a whole different test and basically fail because they're following what was meant for me. Like, everything that's meant for you is simply meant for you. Not everybody is going to be there to experience it for you, and vice versa. You can't give somebody that was outlined for you, for them to progress in their life. Give advice and just be supportive. Remember to be supportive always, even if you don't understand the person's decisions. We cannot judge. That's for God and the divine to do. Leave it in their hands. But if you love and care for them, just support them every step of the way. So that's all I have for today. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you soon.